All right, it is 7:01 on the 11th of June, and I'm calling the Borough of Beach Haven meeting to order, and we'll start with the flag salute led by me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board in the entrance hall of the Beach Haven Municipal Building and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Caxton. Mr. Lynch. Mr. Maskell.
Here.
Mr. White.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here. The manager's report.
Cash receipts in the current fund account for the period of May 1st to May 31st, 2018 were $3,044,735.23. Cash disbursements in the current fund account for the month of May 2018 totaled $1,310,812.69. The cash balance in the current fund account as for this period totaled $15,466,956.14. Cash receipts in the water utility account for this period, May 1st through May 31st, 2018, were $119,826.22. Cash disbursements in the water utility account for the month of May totaled $56,952.60. And cash balance in the water utility account as of May 30th, 2018 was $3,269,489.36, submitted by our treasurer, Sharon Bowler.
Thank you. Now we have the approval of the minutes. Has everybody read the minutes? Got an opportunity to read the minutes?
Yes, I've read them all.
Are there any corrections?
No correction. None.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Approve the minutes as submitted. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so now we have ordinance 2018-15C.
Ordinance 2018-15C, ordinance amending Chapter 19, Land Use Administration of the Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, as it pertains to application, submission, and approval procedure. The purpose is to decrease the amount of paper copies of applications required in lieu of digital copies. Final reading.
This is final reading, so it's open for public discussion. Does anybody want to come forward and discuss this ordinance?
William Burris, 100 North West Avenue. I assume that applications means the associated drawings as well as the application itself?
Correct.
So the site plans, the architectural plans, everything can be submitted in a PDF format?
Correct.
That's great. This is a really great one. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? All right, I close the floor to public comment. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2018-15C?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Lynch.
Yes.
Mr. Maskell.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-16C, an ordinance amending Chapter 27, Personnel of the Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, as it pertains to the alcohol and drug-free workplace. The purpose is to comply with new laws to include opioids. Final reading.
Would anybody like to come forward and discuss this? It's a final reading. Therefore, I close the floor to public comment. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve 16C.
Second.
Mr. Lynch.
Yes.
Mr. Maskell.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-17C, an ordinance creating Chapter 81A to be entitled Dock, Use of Lease Docks of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to regulate the use of municipal dock slips. The purpose is to regulate use of lease and transient municipal docks. Final reading.
Again, it's final reading. Would anybody like to come forward and discuss, make any comments over this ordinance? This is allowing for more transient people to be able to pull up and Doctor vote? No. All right, therefore I close the floor. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 2018.
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-18C, ordinance supplementing Chapter 212 zoning of the Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to require buildings front facade to face Bay Avenue. The purpose is to require new construction facades to face Bay Avenue between 12th Street and Pearl Street. Final reading.
This is the final reading, so is it if anybody would like to discuss this or comment on it before we vote, please come forward. State your name and address. Nobody wants to come forward, therefore I'll close the floor. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 18C?
Motion to approve. Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Mansell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. Next are resolutions within the consent agenda.
I'd like to, if you don't mind, switch to the liquor license renewals.
All right,
156, 2018, granting a liquor license to Tucker's Restaurant, Inc. with special conditions. You have to open the floor for public comment.
right. And each one of these, we are opening the floor for public hearing. If anybody would like to come forward and discuss the Tucker's liquor license, please come up now.
John Harvey, 211 Second Street. Is it possible that you could explain the special conditions?
Well, there are special conditions under each liquor license, and Sherry has them listed, and she can, they pertain to things like security guards. Each liquor license sort of draws a different type of clientele of people,
This
and
has
also,
a page and a half. You want them all?
Is there a standard for all of the locations?
Not really.
maybe you could summarize quickly if there's anything special. Some have more than others.
They have to conspicuously post the number of occupants allowed in each room. Special attractions with live band shall be terminated 15 minutes prior to scheduled closing. Mechanical music the same. The police chief or his next in command makes a written request to the municipal council. The council may implement the following conditions: that the management will have security guards, and they shall work from 1/2 hour before special attraction, live band, mechanical music, and/or dancing begins until 1/2 hour after. The security force will, during the operation and at closing, go out into all parking and immediate areas of the licensed premises and oversee the dispersing of the public in a quiet manner. Keep an accurate count of the number of patrons at all times. Initiate programs to encourage safe driving, responsible behavior after leaving the establishment as follows: a designated driver program, mandatory announcements, oral announcements or written announcements by the posting of clearly legible signs displaying in a visible location near all entrance and exit doors before closing that say, "Please leave quietly, do not create a public disturbance. Please use restrooms before leaving. Maximum fine for public urination is $1,200. No open containers of alcohol will leave the premise." There is a paragraph for teen night and how that is to be held. No later than 12. No service of alcoholic beverages anywhere in the licensed premise during that time. There is a section about curfew established for certain minors. Teen nights shall not be offered more than 2 nights per week. It should be held in a separate room. Prior to 8 a.m. every morning, the area immediately adjacent to the premise must be cleaned, including but not limited to beer bottles, cans, litter, debris, etc. All bartenders, security guards, and wait staff must be TAMS and TIPS trained, certified within 2 weeks of employment. During special attractions and live entertainment, counters may be required on all entrance and exit doors at the discretion of the municipal council. The licensee shall notify the municipal clerk in writing if the person is designated to accept written notice is absent. The license shall be conspicuously posted for proper enforcement authority, and that's the list in a nutshell for Tucker's.
Thank you.
I guess this is a general question, but are the special conditions different than they were before?
No,
So these are the same special conditions that we've had year over year with our
for
license?
Tucker's. This is Tucker's.
Okay, so we're going to deal with them all separately? Okay,
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, Nicole Baxter, 309 Center Street. I just have a general question. How does the borough enforce the special conditions on each liquor license?
The police department has copies, and each license holder is required to have their license posted conspicuously, and their list of employees and all those things are required to be posted.
And before we go through this review and the current council for them to vote on these tonight, have they looked at the police logs for residents calling in?
We refer to the police chief, and he knows well in advance when we're looking to do renewals, and if he has certain concerns, he brings them to the council and we address them.
And also ABC board governs all of these things, and they monitor the youth, kids in there and things like that.
Right. So the ABC, if someone's in violation with ABC, are you all aware of it? Okay.
Any other comments? In that case, are there any comments by council?
No comments.
Is there a motion to approve the
Motion to approve.
Tucker's liquor license?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Resolution 157, 2018, granting a liquor license to the Angleside Inc. with special conditions.
Again, are there any public comments?
Maybe, Sherry, we could let the public know if any of the licenses we're voting on have conditions that are different than the ones that you spoke to Mr. Harvey about.
This one does not have anything substantially different. It's pretty much the
We
same.
also asked the chief of police to let us know if there's any problems with any of these particular establishments before we grant the liquor licenses. Is there any public comment? I mean, just in the fact of how many police reports have been there. So we do know that ahead of time. Are there any public comments relating to the Angleside? Okay, is there a motion to approve the
Motion to
Angleside?
approve 157?
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Resolution 158, 2018, granting a liquor license to Waterfront Restaurants LLC with special conditions. This was for trading as Black Whale Fish House. Just looking over it quickly, I do see one for the purpose of sale, serving, and consumption of alcoholic beverages. The license shall be restricted to the first floor. That's one that's specific to this license. The second floor area included as part of the licensed premise shall not be open to the public and shall be used solely for storage of alcoholic beverages. The portion of the second floor of the licensed premise is that portion of the second floor as shown on the original request for licensure. They have the same requirements for termination of live bands or live entertainment, teen night, curfews, the same demands if the police director requests for security guards, accurate count of patrons, designated driver program, the same announcements are made, the same signs are required, the cleanup is the same, tips and tams. During special attractions or live entertainment, counters may be required on all doors. They must comply with all local, county, state, and federal rules. Pretty much the same from there on out.
Anybody like to come forward?
Anything different than last year?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Any,
Motion to approve 158?
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
yes.
Okay, Resolution 160, 2018, granting a liquor license to the Beach Haven Marlin and Tuna Club with special conditions. Their special conditions are simply that they post the number of occupants permitted in the building and that they conspicuously post their liquor license.
Anybody like to come forward and discuss the Marlin Tuna Club? Therefore, I close the floor. Is there a motion to approve?
Approve motion 160?
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Resolution 161, 2018, granting a liquor license to Murphy's Market with special conditions. And their special conditions are the same as the Tuna Club, that they post the number of occupants permitted in the building and the license be conspicuously posted.
Anybody like to discuss Murphy's? Okay, I close the floor. Is there a motion to
Motion to
approve?
approve 161?
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Resolution 162, 2018, granting a liquor license to Don Rommel's Liquor Store with special conditions, and their special conditions mirror Murphy's.
Again, would anybody like to discuss this? Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to 162, approve 162.
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Resolution 163, granting a liquor license to J.C. Beach Haven Tavern with special conditions. Just quickly looking over, everything is the same as the other retail establishments. They do have one that says, use of the enclosed porch area after 11 p.m. is permitted. However, if any complaint is received by the Beach Haven Police Department that the crowd on the porch area is too noisy, the owner will immediately close the porch windows. Second floor area included as part of this licensed premise shall not be open to the public and shall be used solely for storage and office use. The portion of the second floor area of the licensed premise is that portion of the second floor on the easterly side, presently used for linen storage and office space as delineated on the sketch attached to the original license for the second floor. Nothing's changed from last year.
Would anybody like to discuss Buckaloo's? Okay, therefore, I close the floor. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 163.
Second?
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Resolution 164, 2018, granting a liquor license to Seashell Club, Inc. with special conditions. The license is issued pursuant to Chapter 45-2 of the code for hotel motel licenses, a specific type of code for that. The requirement for a minimum of 4 security guards, 1 at each door during live band performances or DJ performances. The licensee shall police the outside deck area and not permit any alcoholic beverages beyond the approved recreation area. The rest looks pretty similar to the rest. Tips and tams, special entertainment. They must comply with the noise chapter. Security force will, during the operation and at closing, go out into all parking and immediate areas of the licensed premise and oversee the dispersing of the public in a quiet manner. Nothing's changed from last year.
Anybody like to discuss the Seashell? No, then do I have a motion to
Motion to
approve?
approve 164.
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
2 of the liquor license renewals were not presented tonight. There were some concerns raised at the last agenda meeting. We did meet with the license holder. We're working on revamping the special conditions. So we'll consider those possibly at the next agenda meeting on the 21st.
Okay, we're moving on to the bills.
We're going to go back to consent
Oh, the
agenda.
consent agenda.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 149 is returning remaining escrow. 152 is returning piling bonds. 165 is approving amendments to the public information program. 167 is consenting to the issuance of amusement licenses MG14 and MG15 for Fantasy Island Amusement Park. 168 is renewing a contract with Delta Dental. 169 is approving change order number 2, dated June 4th, 2018, for the William Butler Park Annex reconstruction, Phase 1 electrical. 170 is executing a no-cost agreement with Reverse Logistics Group America, Inc. for electronics recycling. 171 is reappointing a member to the Joint Environmental Commission. 172 is authorizing the execution of a license extension agreement with Press Communications. And finally, 175 is approving a place-to-place transfer for Buckaloo's.
Would anybody in council like to remove any of these from the
No.
agenda? Therefore, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to
You should
approve.
probably remove 175 and take a vote separate, since you should probably.
Okay, then,
not vote on
okay,
that,
we'll
so
remove 175.
175.
Okay. So we're voting on 149 through 172.
Correct.
Motion to approve resolutions as submitted. Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
So then we'll go back to 175, 2018, approving the place-to-place transfer. If Someone would mind.
Motion to approve 175.
Thank you.
Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mayor White? Mayor, sorry. Mayor Davis?
Should I recuse myself?
You should
I'm
abstain.
recusing
Oh, no,
myself.
you're recusing yourself, I apologize.
Abstaining.
I'll vote yes.
Mr. White?
Okay. All right, I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $1,125,220.19.
Everybody read the bills?
Yes, I did. Yes.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the bills as submitted. Second.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. All right, so now we're to public comment, and I'm opening the floor to public comment. So please feel free to come up and comment on anything you're interested in commenting at this point. Is there anybody?
Hi, Nicole Baxter, 309 Center Street. I am just standing here before you and as a concerned citizen and saying that I would like to pause any redevelopment that does not adhere or deviates to our building ordinances. We understand an area that is deemed redevelopment or rehab, like a rehab site, has the ability to be flexible to bulk design standards, setbacks, heights, density, etc., set forth in our ordinances, and all 5 of you, with one's missing tonight, can make these decisions on our behalf. That's a big task. This is new to all of us, and we do not have the expertise or experience or the architectural review committee in place to make the best possible decisions. One of the concepts of redevelopment is something you would see in Collingswood. We all live here in Beach Haven because it is Beach Haven, and then the master plan sums it up best. To maintain the use of planning techniques, zoning regulations that preserve the integrity of the existing residential districts and preserve Beach Haven's overall character and charm. We absolutely want you to have a more collaborative process, and that takes time and you cannot rush that. The master plan says that we need an architectural review committee to help you move forward, and that isn't in place. Before I step down, I would like to ask anyone that supports me in this to please step up and state your name and address. I know we've all been coming to meetings and trying to talk, and I feel like I want you to look at me and look at your community you're serving, and how can we get your attention? And this is the only way I know how to do it. I'm going to step aside.
Okay.
Robert Salmons, 200 South Beach Avenue, and I agree with everything Nicole said.
Abigail Johnson, 223 Fairview Avenue, Bowling Green. Van Ryan, 320 Berkeley Avenue, Beach Haven. I support everything Nicole said. Thank you, Nicole. Madeline Franco, 433 2nd Street, and I support everything Nicole said. Lori Anderson, 101 West Avenue. I also support Nicole. Thanks. Deb Harkness, 415 Coral Street. I also support Nicole, and I want to congratulate her on a wonderful art walk. She was one of the co-chairs, as you are aware. This is the future of our town.
Mike McCaffrey, 300 Jeffries Avenue, I agree.
Karen Cunningham, 515 North Bay Avenue. We agree with Nicole. Thank you so much.
What was your address? I'm sorry.
515 North Bay.
If anybody could speak really slowly, because we're writing this down.
Scott Cunningham, 515 North Bay, Beach Haven. At the last couple of town meetings on this issue of the bank, the town has spoke, and you voted yes, which I am appalled. And the whole town is. That's why we're all here tonight speaking. You need to listen to the people. We, the people. And I am 100% behind people. Thank you very much.
Hi, Patricia Peacock, 326 Belvoir Avenue, and I am in support of Nicole's idea. Thank you.
Eileen Jacob, 315 Iroquois. And I support everything that Nicole presented tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, call it down.
Charlotte McDonald, 330 Coral Street, and I definitely support Nicole.
Carol Stryker, 401 Dock Road, and I support Nicole.
Nicholas Garofalo, 1900 Virginia Avenue. I support Nicole 100%, and I absolutely support responsible redevelopment.
Christian Ballmiller, 129 Fifth Street, and I also support and agree with Nicole's comment.
Sharon Hall, 20 Nelson Avenue. Can't officially represent my neighbors, but everyone on my street feels the same way and supports Nicole. And so in unofficial capacity, I do represent my neighbors who, like you know, through so many of these meetings, cannot be here, all season on a Monday night to have their voice heard. But I do represent Nicole, who is herself an architect by trade. Thank you.
Kristen Ballmiller, 129 Fifth Street, and I support Nicole as second.
Jeff Finn, 420 Nelson Avenue, and I appreciate the change in plan to have residential properties facing the boulevard. I was really appalled by the project that was built backwards, and I think if the pace that has been recommended were taken, that type of property would not have been done. So I support Nicole for the overall proposal.
Pat Miller, 330 Belmar Avenue, and I also want to thank Nicole for the art walk. She and Jen did a phenomenal job, and I also support her in the comments that she's made tonight.
I'm Jen Cunningham, 127 Fifth Street. I also support Nicole, and I agree with everything that she said tonight. Thank you.
Helen Harvey, 211 2nd Street, and I support Nicole's statement.
Judy Hamilton, 511 North Bay Avenue, directly across the street from this project, and I support Nicole.
Annie Smith, 204 2nd Street, Beach Haven, and I feel just like Nicole does about this major project that is being passed a little too fast. Thank you.
Hello, Holly Smith, 204 2nd Street. I'm here to support Nicole, and I believe in this town. Thank you.
Molly Fallon, 127 6th Street. I also agree with everything Nicole said tonight.
Margie Stewart, 3 South Bay Avenue. Thank you for taking all of our comments. I'm here in support of Nicole and also in support of the fabulous looking new Beach Haven. Thank you.
Jamie Ballmiller, 115 6th Street. Happy Memorial Day. Finally got some sun today after the horrific rain, 70 days. I just want to say that I worked with Nicole these past couple months, and definitely support what she said. And I just wanted to remind you also of the petition that I myself did sign, and 307 people did sign that petition. 227 residents work from Beach Haven. And I know there was some question about the validity of the one sentence about the fire truck, so I went through and I read 125 comments. And there's only one comment about the fire truck, so the other 124 comments were directly related to the density and the scale, in keeping with the feel and the culture of this town. I myself am proud to be a part of and with everyone else here. Thank you.
Bob Smith, 204 2nd Street. Just support Nicole.
John Harvey, 211 2nd Street, and I fully support Nicole in this statement.
Lawrence Taylor, 316 6th Street, and I can also attest that the people in my immediate area are against the project as it stands now.
Beagle, 520 Leeward.
It just needs to be more content.
Dan Allen, 423 Liberty. I know you guys have worked hard at putting this plan together. Thank you for all your hard work, but I support the call and everything she's saying. You guys are trying, I appreciate it.
Guys, 216 4th Street.
I support Nicole with everything that she's trying to do.
Barcona, 100 Northwest Ave. I support what Nicole said, and we need an architectural review commission in this town, and I hope we shall not.
Peggy Kershaw, 221 Bellflower, Beach Haven. I agree that we need some architectural review rather than opening the floodgates for what could happen if this project doesn't have a plan. Thank you.
Colleen Lambert, 115 8th Street. I thank Nicole, and I certainly support her. And I would like to make one other comment. During that whole Victoria Rose hearing and everything else, I was always under the impression that they needed a variance. And when it came out at the end of that meeting, that they didn't need a variance, that the ordinances had been rewritten to accommodate that height. I found that very disturbing, and I sincerely hope that we don't do any more rewriting of variances for ordinances for anybody until we have a committee or somebody review that. Because to me, it was such a rude awakening, because I thought we had a little more say, and it turns out we didn't. So thank you.
They don't rewrite ordinances. The redevelopment opens the door to working with a developer and a builder per project that they can give concessions on our existing building ordinances.
Okay, thank you. Well, then I would like to request that we don't do that, because we have our limits in place for a reason. And I know you took a lot of heat after Sandy for all the empty buildings and the stores and all that. I know you took a lot of heat, and I appreciate that. But as we go forward, I think this is why Nicole's suggestion is so important. We don't want just anything to go in. When I thought we were going to be building something to improve the town, I'm thinking of some storefront with, one building or something, or one residence, I should say, on top of it. Boy, was I ever wrong. So, please, like I said, going forward, and I think Nicole's got a great idea.
Theodore Lambert, 516 North Atlantic. I need support of Nicole and everyone who spoke here this evening.
Virginia Lambert, and I fully support Nicole in all of her statements.
Jane McElfrey, 216 3rd Street. I support Nicole in whatever she thinks we need.
Chris Anderson, 25 3rd Street. I've had an incident last January. I stayed here rather than going to Florida and opposed the addition to the doubling of the size of the black whale. That night, the Land Use Board voted no to the project. I thought, wonderful. For the first time ever, they've said no to a project. I left for Florida thinking everything was fine. I understand the next meeting with a new set of plans, if you can call them plans, because there weren't very many numbers on them to show where the building was. It has now been passed, and it is obstructing my view, my air, and I'm going to have water running into my property, where the roof is going to slope me down. I'm absolutely lost money on my property, lost rentals, because I was told the building was going to be tented, and the vermin, mice and rats and whatever were in there would all be killed prior to the demolition of that building. That didn't happen. The building was demolished with all those things in it. All those animals got into my house, had a heck of a mess. I lost my winter tenant, which most of you know, to get a winter tenant is very difficult here on the island. So the amount of money that I've lost due to this black whale project, I think is a sinful situation. Somebody who lived here all their life, paid their taxes, and then be treated in that manner. The Land Use Board is not doing their job. Thank you.
John Halprin, 319 Fairview Avenue, and President of the Beach Haven Taxpayers Association. Our board met on May 26th, and we passed a motion unanimously to recommend the approval of an architectural review board as part of the master plan. We feel that that layer of oversight is really essential as we move forward on these redevelopment initiatives.
I don't actually live in this town, but I'm going to be spending a lot of time on Fifth Street as a temporary resident in a Baxter residence. Born and raised from Beach Haven, and I want to applaud from my sister for trying to keep Beach Haven the way it used to be, and with helping in change, which is good change. I sit on a board, maybe not as important as mayor and council, but I sit on a school board where we were trying to do something that 2 to 1 people were not for, okay? And we took that information that they gave us and went out to vote, and they voted us down 2 to 1 because we thought what we wanted was best. We listened to our voters now, and we changed our plans. So you have a lot of people speaking negatively towards a project. They're not against the project, they're speaking negative about what your vision is. Our vision on that board was not good, and now we're developing a new vision that's in accordance to what our people in our towns want. Thank you.
Thank you.
I support Nicole. I think there's some misunderstanding about what redevelopment is in this community. I'm in favor of the redevelopment, obviously, but that's a discussion for another day. Mr. Anderson just got up and told everybody about his damages, but he never told me. I think if he had told me, or if he tells me, I'm happy to discuss it with him. Mr. Anderson stood before the land use board and made it sound like he lived next to the Blackwell. And that land use board denied that Blackwell application because of buffers that do not even exist in the Marine Commercial District. We came back the next month. We reduced the size of the building. We didn't need any variances, and the project was approved. We lost 3 months in the process. I'm not going to bother him with our damages for 3 months, but I'm very happy to consider any damages that he has. Thank you.
Anybody else? Well, I think we all heard what you said, and Nicole, you gave a copy of your letter to Sherry. That would be nice to have, so we can have it. Does anybody else like to come forward and discuss anything else?
Yes.
Scott Cunningham, 515 North Bay at Beach Haven. We've increased the alcohol content in the municipality probably by about 40, 50, 60% in the last year with the new restaurants, the additions to our restaurants. I do believe at this time we need to take the restrooms and leave them open at night, even if we have to put a police car and a law enforcement officer there to protect them. There's too many people going through our town urinating in everyone's yard, and the police are out waiting for them. This is a health issue. We need to have the restrooms open for the patrons, especially you come out of the Catch or the Seashell. We're giving children liquids for 5 or 6 hours and then walk out of the bar, they can't go back in, and then there's nowhere to go. And they do want to go in these restrooms, and I'm sure there are going to be damages. All right, that's why we need to have protection. That is what the mercantile tax was proposed for. I was here that night that we voted to keep the bars open after midnight, and in turn we got the mercantile license, which I call the mercantile tax. That money should go to protect us, so why don't we open the restrooms for all the people that we bring into our community? I think it's a good idea. Secondly, we have now a weed police, or we had last year. We're spraying herbicides on all the stones. This is crazy. We live on an island. When the rain comes, it washes herbicides into the bay. Why do you think the bay is dead? I think we should ban herbicides in our community. This is absolutely absurd that we have it on Long Beach Island, and I believe everyone should, Roundup is, they say, the leading cause of autism and cancer. We need to stop these chemicals going into our bay and getting into our food chain. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you. And I think that's a good idea. Anybody else?
Ann Smith, 204 2nd Street. Another environmental issue is, I know a lot of the boroughs are banning the single-use plastic bags. And I believe you had spoken about waiting until 2019. And I think it's important to take another look at that and maybe speed that up in our town too, because it is very important. And another little thing about environmental, there's a movie being shown here at Borough Hall. I'm not sure if everybody knows.
21st at 6 o'clock, it's at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock.
Yes, and it's called The Plastic Ocean. And I think if anybody views this film, they're going to want to stop using plastic bags immediately.
Yeah.
It's really a great film, and it's going to be shown right here in this building. And we'd like to invite people to come, and maybe you can put it on your website.
It is on the website, and we also are going to use the electric sign, and we've announced it at every meeting, and I hope everybody here tonight comes to see it.
Thank you.
And we did have a meeting about the plastic bags, and actually some businesses in town are going to paper. We're not just the bags, but paper everything, and Buckaloo's and Barry's were here to talk about what they're doing. We'd like to be able to initiate this immediately, at least I would, but a lot of people have purchased these bags, and we need to give them some time, but I agree with you. It'd be nice to be able to do it immediately, and hopefully people will volunteer to do it on their own.
That would be great. Thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Hi, Margie Stewart, 3 South Bay Avenue. I just wanted to comment for a moment about the very busy weekend that we just had here in Beach Haven. And some of the comments that I have I'm going to bring to the Business Association. But I also am imploring and asking for your feedback. I don't necessarily need you to tell us here tonight, but we are all trying to extend our preseason weekends. I feel that this weekend we put a lot of things in place that all had good intentions, and I'm hoping that as a town that we can reflect on what this weekend brought here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mostly the ugly is the weather. And so we're all trying to just get past this kind of soggy late spring, early summer scenario. But that being said, in talking to a lot of people around town, to our customers who came in to Uncle Will's over the weekend, people that I saw in Murphy's, wherever I was in town, I heard a lot of comments. And as commissioners, Sherry, I'm also asking you, I'm wondering about your feedback for how we did this weekend, because as we move forward and as we are trying to regenerate ourselves, I feel that this weekend had some really positive points. I feel that this weekend had some points that we can grow from, and I'm hoping that we can have some open communication between the business district and with you as commissioners to help us to make this grow regardless of the horrible weather. So any comments that you have about that and about what you heard, I'd really love to hear that this evening so that we can extend it to the next meeting later in the week.
Thank you. I, for one, I thought the art walk was magnificent. I loved it. I bought a bunch of stuff. And I hope it continues and grows. I didn't get to the wine festival, but I did ride by it. I was doing the Lighthouse Film Festival most of the weekend, and there was just so much going on. It was very exciting, and I think all of us are very supportive of trying. One of our goals has been to try to increase the shoulder season as far as businesses go. So I think anything we can do to help, we're willing to do it. I'm sure everybody else feels the same way.
I think the Beach Haven Chamber of Commerce is also trying to do that, and I guess I would promote businesses to try and join up and join forces with the chamber, and hopefully that'll make a difference. And I know the people at Bay Village had a very good weekend, and I want to congratulate Nicole and all the organizers of the Art Walk. It was really great. And I bought a lot of stuff too.
Did you? It was great. And I thought the weather held up, which was nice on Saturday. And it was a lot of fun.
Orcona, 100 Northwest, just to address that issue. We had a great weekend with the Art Walk, thanks to Nicole and Jen Cunningham and Robin Johnson, who chaired the event. I heard one negative comment, and everything else that I heard was positive. I've never been to Key West, but people said to me, geez, it's like Key West here in Beach Haven. There's so much to do this weekend, and it's great to see so many people out on the street walking up and down through the business district. So we welcome all comments at the chamber and hope that every business will join in our efforts and we can all discuss these things and do what's best for Beach Haven.
It would be really nice if there was a list of all the activities, not just, because I know Beach Haven Futures is also doing the Seafood Fest again sometime in the fall. I don't know exactly when, but it would be really helpful to be able to have everything on one page. But I think it's...
It is on the website. The activities that are forthcoming are on the beachhavenchamber.com website, and I know they're on Visit Beach Haven as well. I don't have anything to do with Visit Beach Haven, but we do try to update our website. And, you know, for Restaurant Week, which I just want to say, same thing. People said that Restaurant Week was a positive thing, but these businesses are so busy with trying to find employees and everything else that I will admit that the information is a little slow to come in. And that's one of the things that we desperately want to be able to do, is to be able to get information out ahead of time. Technically, we'd love to get it out by January, so that people can plan their calendar for the year. So that's something, but we can't do that without the cooperation of everyone else and working with the schedule. So, but that's the goal.
Good,
Yeah.
great. Anybody else?
The only negative that I heard about Saturday was that in front of Cunningham's, actually, there was a tent that advertised vodka. And it didn't sell anybody, it was just selling artwork.
All right.
Guess you had to be there.
Anybody else want to come up and speak about anything before I close floor? All right, nobody else?
Gita was drinking.
Therefore, I'm closing the floor to public comment. And now we have final remarks by council.
I think we have a herbicide ban ordinance. Don't we sure have that?
I don't think so.
It's nitrates, I know.
Yeah, nitrates.
There's a county one on some things.
We have an ordinance, but I don't think it's a ban, it's a...
Restriction.
It's a use responsibly type of ban.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's definitely worth, looking at, so.
Isn't, no, I've heard that if you spray vinegar, that'll kill a lot of your weeds and it's not bad for the environment. So that may be an option for people that want to get rid of their weeds. Right? But we don't have a ban. I mean, there's a company that comes in and sprays, because gravel and stuff, so. Yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question. A couple of months ago, we talked about savings with the telephone and how we could all band together in Beach Haven. Saving of telephone, the cost for a telephone, the expense.
Electric
Electric, I'm sorry, excuse me.
We haven't even, they have to go out to bid for that.
Well,
We're
I've
not
been-
even to that part of the process
Over
yet.
the last month, I must have 15 calls. I'm sure everybody in here has had a call, how they could save money. I'm just curious where we are with this.
we have to wait. They can't do anything until they bid for the electricity. And we do know that this is a much better deal than what you're getting the calls from, so it's hard to opt out of those. Okay, I don't have any more comments, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
Or that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Take it over.